Good evening, Facebook family. Listen, I am here on the campus of the Seven Hills School, Hilldale campus, the main campus at 5400 Red Bank Road. The location of where Kyle Plush attended school and also where he later died in the parking lot. This parking lot that you see is, very close to the front entrance of the school. It's one parking lot. Okay? Across the street, which I am Amy, there's another parking lot. All right? Not very far. It's a 2-lane street where you can just walk across the street and you're right there. Hop, skip, and a jump. Now, I'm going to bring this a little closer. You see those cones? That's where Kyle parked his van, and that's where he later died because he wasn't discovered. Now, had the police officer gotten out of their van, trust me, Kyle would have been found long before 9 o'clock. He should have been found between the time that the officer arrived on campus and had they cruised inside of this parking lot, got out of their cars, they would have been able to save Kyle. Now, one of the questions that I have is, how long did it take Kyle to die after he made the call? Okay? He had to have died a slow death. So that's one question that I don't recall anybody asking. And I'm sure the coroner's office got that information. I would like to know, how long did it take him to pass? But in the meantime, he wasn't discovered because the police officer that arrived along with the sheriff did not get out of their cars and search from van to van. They were given this description by the dispatcher, Kyle's name, I'm not sure the model of the of the van, but they were given information that it was a van, right? So that information alone should have been enough for the officer to have gotten out of their cars and search. Real simple. Listen, my 10-year-old grandson would have been able to do that as long as he had followed my instructions. But we had grown men, police officers, who chose not to get out of their cars to search for Kyle. And it would have been so simple for them to do that. But let me tell you why I believe they didn't get out of their cars. It was at the end of their shift, close to 3:30. They were tired and ready to go home. That's what I believe why they didn't get out of their car. They just didn't feel like it. And if that is the case, which I honestly believe that is exactly what happened, why they did not get out of their cars, is the reason why they did not discover Kyle. There is no freaking way that it should have taken 6 hours for his father to find Kyle's body. Come on. 6 hours? So that means the police officers that arrived on the scene did not even bother to even step out of their cars. They didn't even bother to step out of their cars and say, let me go look for this young man. My God. Really? Because it was simple for them to do that. Let me tell you something. You know when a suspect is running and the police are chasing the suspect, they make every effort to find that suspect. Am I right or wrong? We all know that they will go beyond the call of duties. Even if they got a call for backup to find the suspect, they gonna search and bring their dogs and hunt the suspect down. Well, they didn't make the effort for Kyle. Why is that? An innocent 16-year-old young man who was highly spoken about, his intellect, his ability to do more than what most adults don't or do. The police officer didn't think or concern themselves that much to save Kyle's life. I mean, I'm beyond comprehension of trying to understand why they didn't make the effort. I'm just showing you this campus because this is how close it is that they could have found Kyle. Where you see this cone is where Kyle van was located. I'm going to get a little closer. But I just want you to see. The media did not give full details. They just gave a little bit of piece of information, you know, trying to make it appear that it was difficult for the officers to find Kyle. No, it wasn't. I could have brought my own kids with me and we searched this van, searched the parking lot, and we would have found Kyle. That's how simple it was. And for the officers to not have taken the time out because they were too tired, too lazy, I would say to the city of Cincinnati, Mayor Cranley, and the city council, there's no point of spending the money to get an independent investigator to search for the truth. The truth is right in your face. The officers were negligent. It's that plain and simple. They were negligent. They need to just tell the truth, because they're going to have to live with that truth for the rest of their lives. And if they're going to deny the Plush family the truth that they were just lazy to get out of their cars, they were tired, they were ready to go home, so they were too tired, ready to go home. So what if there had been a criminal activity during that time? What would the officer have done? Would they have been chasing the suspect at that time? Yeah, think about that. Think about that. You see this corner of the lot? The officer could have begun their search right there. If there were any cars, a van parked along this way from where I'm standing, they would have found Kyle. It's just that plain and simple. I'm just sorry, but that's just what it is. It don't take a rocket scientist to discover that. This is the small campus of Seven Hills School. Now, I didn't mention, but let me share with you, down the street there is Duck Creek, okay? Duck Creek, turn left to Red Bank Road on the right, maybe about half a block. There's a school stadium with a parking lot there, right? Okay, before you even get to the school, the front main entrance, okay? And then across the street from the stadium, there's a parking lot there. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kyle was specific about where he was located on the school lot. But let's just say he wasn't specific. There's 2 parking lots that the officers should have gotten out of their cars, searched on both sides of the parking lot, and then if they come up right at the main entrance of the school, there's 2 parking lots there. And I'm standing on one of them. Okay? So what I'm saying to you is all they had to do was get out of their cars. That's it. Search on foot, and they would have found Kyle. But because they made a decision not to get out of their cars, that's why Kyle wasn't discovered. That's why he wasn't discovered. Frankly, they need to retire. Because you're not going to make the effort to find an innocent young man who was begging to be saved, begging for his life, for him to be found. And the cops were right here on campus and chose not to get out of their cars. And that's why Kyle was not discovered. One of the city council, PG, mentioned on the news yesterday that there was hundreds of vans. No, it wasn't. He was just exaggerating. I don't know who he thought he was kidding. But I done been on this lot 2 weeks ago. I had to come and see for myself what and how could this have happened to Kyle. Well, I discovered the truth. The officer who arrived and cruised along the road, a 2-lane street, not big as a big, it was just a hop, skip, and a jump. They would have found this young man. Yeah, they would have found him had they just done their duties. But they didn't do that. And I wish, and I hope, and I pray that they will not sleep a day until they confess that they were negligent. Because that's really the bottom line. They were negligent. You folks, I'm telling you, you can be upset with me all you want to. But I'm doing this for you too. If that had been your child, I'll be standing right here saying the same thing. Yes, it affected me too. Because all I kept thinking about is this is a young man, not even adult, who called a couple of times to get somebody to help him, and nobody between the dispatcher and the police officer. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't even fault the dispatcher so much as I do the police officer. I'm just going to keep it real. The police officer was right here on this campus and chose not to get out of their cars, and that's why Kyle wasn't discovered. They were here. They were so close to him that they didn't even bother to get out of their cars. That is crazy. It baffles me that they didn't do that. And I'm pissed. Because they didn't make the time. They didn't take the time as they would a suspect. They'll go beyond the call of duties to find a suspect. They chasing a suspect. They have backups all over the place to find a suspect. But here was Kyle in his van, stuck. Couldn't even get help from the police officer because they was too lazy to get out of their cars. You got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. So yes, I took this very personal. I took this very personal. The city don't have to hire an independent investigator, because the police officer needs to tell the truth why this young man was not discovered. That's all they really need to do. Let the Plush family come to closure with this by being honest to them. Just do that. Prolonging this investigation is not even necessary. We know the real deal. From where I'm standing, my theory is highly, I would say, is exactly what had happened. And one day, those officers are gonna have to confess. Now, if they want to die with the truth, then that's on them. But don't do that to the Plush family. Because what if that was your child? What if that had been your child? You screwed up. It's that simple, okay? God forgive you. We'll forgive you. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth. Kyle wasn't discovered because the police officer chose not to get out of their cars. And this question still stands with me. I'd like to know, how long did it take Kyle to die? How long? Because he suffered. I know he suffered a slow death. And he didn't have to. If the cops had done their job. You're so busy killing our men, our people out here. And then here it is, we get a 16-year-old man, young man that's dying in his van, and nobody reaching out to help him. Police officers are killing our men for nothing, for no reason. But yet they couldn't save this young man's life, who was just as innocent as the black men that they've been killing. And you want to talk about honor? Really? You got to honor yourself first before you expect people to honor you. And I'm talking to the ones that you know are bad cops. I'm talking to the ones that you know that cops are out there not doing right by us. Rather than protecting and serving, they're killing us. That's who I'm talking to. This is personal for me. So it is what it is. My name is Letty Reed, and I am at the Seven Hills School on Red Bank Road where Kyle Plush died in his van. May he rest in peace, and may his family have closure soon. God bless. May he rest his soul.